everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the South Florida Live Show. Your host, Jeffrey Brown. Hey, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Listen, I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everybody is experiencing peace and blessings on this evening. And you had a wonderful, wonderful, magnificent, marvelous Monday on today, and everybody is doing well in spite of, I know, some of the rain that was going on and off and all that stuff that was happening and the wind that was blowing. But I'm sure you made your evening and your day and your evenings marvelous. Listen, welcome to the South Florida Live Show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Brown. And listen, tonight's show is going to be wonderful. This episode is this tonight is going to be special to me. Once again, I get to talk to one of my brothers on this evening. But before we do that, this is what I need you to do. Come on in. Everybody, come on in. Come on in. Please come on in. And those that are on Facebook, I need you to like. I need you to like. And also, I need you to share with at least 10 people. Those that are on Facebook, that's watching us view Facebook, I need you to share with at least 10 people. I need you to tag at least 10 people tonight. Please, 10, 10, 10. Everyone that's on Facebook, I need you to tag at least 10. Okay, those that are viewing by YouTube, I need you to share. I need you to share. I need you to like. I need you to share and like. And let someone know that the South Florida Live Show is on. We are on live in the studio tonight. We're live in the studio tonight. And I want everyone to be a part of this great show tonight. So if you can, please do that. Those that are viewing by Facebook, once again, guys, go ahead and like. Please give me some likes. Y'all gonna make me be like, in the church where you be taking up the offering and they ain't gonna go no further in the service until you give what they until you give what they asking you to give. Don't make me hold up the show and watch you until you guys do all these, get the likes in. Listen, I need likes. I need likes tonight. I need likes. I need likes. We need to hit at least we need to hit at least 50, 60 viewers tonight. If you can, come on, 50, 60, we can do it. We can do it. YouTube, we can do it. We can do 50, 60, reach 100. That'll be fantastic. Come on, let's go. Come on in. I'm gonna give you guys a few more minutes before we introduce my guest and we get this party started. So come on in. Listen, also, as you see down on the screen, hey, if you would like to support us, help us, and be a blessing to this not ministry, but this show, the Let's Talk, the South Florida Live Show, please, you can cash app us. It's right there on the screen. You can cash app us at Power of Glory 777. $ Power Glory 777. Be a blessing. Help us out. Support us. There's some things that we want to do later on in the future, and we want to make sure that we can have the budget to do it. So if you want to be a blessing and you want to continue, and you've been blessed and by the show and some of the guests that we've had on, because we've had some wonderful guests on, going back to Sister Spencer, Mother Spencer came on and shared her book. Jill Wired. I had my brothers. We had an evening with the brothers with Pastor Michael Norman, Pastor Javen Campbell, Dr. David Anderson, and his brother John Anderson. We had a wonderful evening a couple weeks ago. So, hey, listen, please be a blessing and sow into the show and into this show. I'm guarantee you that you won't be disappointed. I'm guarantee you would see all the great things that we plan on doing, and we're trying to expand and do some other things digitally. And so we need your help. We need your help. So it's right there on the screen. And if you want to email me, email us. The email address should be coming on the screen. Email address quickly is going to come on the screen. You can email us at the South Florida Live Show South Florida Live Show at gmail.com. South Florida Live Show at gmail.com. Email us, give us some of your comments, feedback, your do's, your likes, your dislikes, your ideas, some conversations or some topics that you'd like to hear us talk about, bring forward. We're open. We're open for that. So go ahead, email us if you wanted some comments or you have anything to suggest or some topics that you'd like us to discuss. But also, let's be a blessing, sow a seed into this show. Once again, you should see the Cash App information on the screen. So come on. I'm gonna give you one more minute, and we're gonna move on. We're gonna bring our guest on because I don't want to hold him up. I don't want to keep him too long tonight. And plus, y'all know it's Monday Night Football, so we all want to watch the game. I think we got the 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals, I believe, are playing on this evening. Yeah, I know I'm making some of y'all upset right now because y'all checking out the Star. That's right. I did it purposely. I did it. I've been real nice. I haven't been messing with anyone. I've been quiet about what's going on. I'm gonna continue to be quiet, but I just had to make a statement tonight for those that are hating. I don't know why y'all hate on the American team, but we are the American team. Remember that. It's so funny that we're always in your conversation. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that right there. Hey, listen. Okay. You've had your minute. Once again, I need everyone to share, like, and share. I need everyone that's on. I need you to tag at least 10 people on Facebook, and make sure you like. And also on YouTube, I need you to share and like. And let's come on and let's do this thing. And let's get this started. Let's get this started. All right. I'm excited. I'm anxious to introduce this young man to the South Florida Live audience. Listen, I'd like to welcome my brother, my friend, a former NFL player, a great musician, great artist. I mean, just all around gifted, talented, anointed young man. I mean, this young man, we're gonna talk about it, but this young man is so gifted, and you guys are going to find out what I'm talking about in a few minutes when we have our conversation, how gifted and talented and just the range that he have of the abilities that he have, that he can do, the things that he can do. And you're gonna listen, you're gonna enjoy it. Hey, South Florida Live family. Hey, let's welcome my brother, my friend, a former NFL player, Mr. Butch Rolle, to the South Florida Live Show. Hey, my man, welcome, my brother.
Hello, everybody. What's up, South Florida? Everybody back home in South Florida. I'm not home, so I can't say I'm there right now. I'm out of town, but I'm still able to do this interview, and I appreciate the love and I appreciate the opportunity, Jeff, for coming on, man. We go back so far.
Yes, sir.
People just don't realize,
we do.
Man. We start back from little kids, Church of God days back in the days, and I love it. Man.
Okay. Sorry, back as little church babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's church babies.
Awesome,
we go back that far. Yeah, man. Listen, Butch. Hey, man, it's a pleasure, man, to have you on. I know your schedule is tight, and when you accepted the invitation, man, I was like, whoa, okay, this is big. South Florida Live, we're getting bigger and bigger because we're getting these, the quality and of guests that's coming on like you. And like I said, I had Javen on a couple of weeks ago, Javen and Michael Norman. I don't know if you remember Michael Norman from
Absolutely.
Orlando,
Oh, yes.
David Anderson. And we just had an evening of the brothers, man. And you know what? You're going to have to join us one night.
Yes, listen, that sounds good to me, man. You just let me know. We set it up. If I'm in town, I'm there. I love to jump on with you guys and have a good conversation. We talk about the old days once again. Javen, he's my pastor. That's what I go to the Now Church, and
right.
When I'm in town, I'm there. Supporting that ministry. And Javen, I look for a church, Jeff, that where I feel comfortable with because of our upbringing. You know, his dad, my dad, your father, we all was in
Exactly.
that realm of that Church of God realm, and Jaden's cut from the same cloth, and I know what he's preaching about. I know his
Right.
faith and his beliefs is pure,
Right.
so that makes me feel good to go and attend his service and be part of his service every Sunday when I'm in town. So yes, absolutely, it's a
Yeah.
great thing, man.
So, hey, so since we already there, let's dabble. Let's jump right into it. Let's jump right into the conversation because, like you said, we've been knowing each other all our life, and came
Yeah,
up in the Church of God. Not only knowing. I mean, I don't know quite. Some people do know, but some of my audience may not know that you are a pastor kid. You are PK. Your
yes,
dad was one of the. I mean, Bishop Rolle was one of the greatest men of God that was in Church of God that was on this side of heaven. I know he's going on to be
absolutely,
with the Lord, but he was
absolutely,
he was special to me
yes.
because he always had that smile and he always had that he always greeted you with that smile and with something kind to say.
Absolutely.
So growing up as a kid, growing up in that family, I mean, because you got preachers all in your family. Um, how did you how did you avoid that calling, that area of preaching? Not because I know you know the word and you could have went there. How did you avoid that? How did you avoid that?
You know what, Jeff, the middle child, I call myself the middle child. There was what, eight of us, nine of us, I'm sorry. And I'm that middle child. And we had our days, we are all we're in the house. We had to go to church all the time. I couldn't do a whole lot. You know how it is. Your dad usually have a strict parents. Their
Right,
church was on Wednesdays, on Fridays, and Sundays. And, growing up, and I look at myself because the opportunity I had to get into sports, this happened to come, I think, by luck because, we were in the band.
right.
You and I, we played in the marching band, and I'm in high school. We also played in the jazz band. I'm in high school in ninth grade, and I remember Grunner seeing me. So funny, he's seeing me in the marching band with the bass drum. So he looks at me. He's like, "Wait a minute, I'm standing 6 feet 215 pounds, playing the bass drum." He's looking at me. He said, "Wait a minute, why are you in the band? You should have your bleep bleep out on the football field."
Right.
So
That was
I
cool.
tell him, and it's funny. I said, "Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would love to come play football, but my father, I don't. He doesn't really want me to play. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't look at it because I have to be in church, and this is what I've known as a kid. I have to be on church. I'm playing music. We're doing our thing, and I have to be in church. So I said, if you can go
Right.
talk to him, you can go convince him to let me come out. I'll be happy to come out for football. And sure enough, let me tell you, I think Grunted to this day, Mr. Grunted, I talked to him online on Facebook, and I let him know, listen, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at now because he took the time to go out and talk to my father to
Mhm.
let him know, Mr. Rowe, listen, he's going to be fine. Because, my dad was a little wary. He was a little funny in particular about his kids. And because my brother Howard, who's the preacher, Howard
Right.
was a great high school football player. And
Right.
he had the nickname Baby Bull. He went to
Baby
South
bull.
Broward.
Yes,
And
sir.
he broke records. He had a great high school career, but back then they weren't pushing the African American kids to go to college. So my dad, in hindsight, and thinking, okay, this is what's going to happen. These people are going to use you. They're going to play you. They're going to make you work, do whatever they to help them win. But are you going to go to college? And Mr. Grunnett had to reassure him, saying, "Listen, Mr. Rowe, times have changed. This was back in the late '70s, early '80s." He said, "Times have changed. Guys are going to college. You know, I'll make sure I'll watch your son. I'll protect him. I'll make sure he's not in trouble." And sure enough, my dad said, "Okay, I'm gonna, with that look, I'm gonna hold
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
responsible."
Yeah.
That's his favorite line. I'm gonna hold you responsible. So yeah, so man, like I said, the rest is history, Jeff. I was
Right.
raw. I never played football.
Right.
I went up by
Right.
10th grade, man. I was big,
Right.
athletic, and just had
Right.
no football abilities. So I started
Right.
off on JV, learning the fundamentals. And after that JV year, they pushed all the players up to varsity. And from my junior year until my senior year, I just flourished. I don't know. Like I said, God put anointing on me, man, and start opening up my eyes and understanding the game and using my size. And I was one of the bigger kids, the bigger players in the league at the
Right.
time. I mean, in the school system, because back then,
Right.
Hallandale had guys, but I was 6'3", 227 pounds in high school. So I mean, I just started learning the game, and before you know it, man, it just came to me, and God blessed me to get so many opportunities to go to different Division I colleges and just
Right.
pick my choice.
Yeah.
I was heading to UM, but what happened? Because I say, I want to stay close to home so my family can see me. And I
Right.
remember going on a visit to the University of Miami, and Howard Schnellenberg at the time was a coach, and he wanted to move me because I played linebacker. I kind of played all over the field, but my position I wanted to play was linebacker. I can stand up and see everything. So Howard Snellenberger wanted to move me to defensive tackle. I'm like, wait a minute, defensive tackle? So, I mean,
Yeah.
I got to put on 60 pounds, become some, big guy in the paint, and and I'm sorry, in the trenches. And I say, no, 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 no. I don't think I want to play defensive tackle. So I open up my options. I say, you know what? I'm going to go start making other visits and just looking at other
Right.
colleges just to
Right.
see what they have.
Right.
I went to South Carolina. I visited Pittsburgh. I visited Michigan State. So I went to Michigan State in the winter time. It was snowing. I say, wow, I never seen snow until then. But I liked it. It didn't bother me. I
Right.
said, the campus was beautiful. The atmosphere was beautiful. I said, you know what? I can come here and get away from home, grow up. I can do something. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go with Michigan State because they had a lot of Florida boys at that time on the team
Right.
because they recruited
Lorenzo.
heavily down. Yeah,
What?
they
Lorenzo
recruited
White was there, right?
Lorenzo came after me, but when I got there, they had guys from Pahokee, Miami. They had a lot of
Right.
Florida guys, older guys that because they were recruiting heavy in Florida. Florida. I brag about Florida. That's where all the top athletes are in Florida.
Right.
That's it. I have nothing to say about that. But they were recruiting heavy, so I
Yeah.
decided to
Wow.
make my school Michigan State.
Wow.
And I told him, I said, I'm gonna commit to Michigan State. And my mom's like, listen, it's far away, but if that's what you choose, I'm not trying to just sway your mind. If you want
Mhm.
to go to Michigan State, go right ahead. And I signed with them, man. And
Cause
I was
hey, cause our parents wasn't trying to let us get too far.
no, exactly because she was happy. Hey, well, I got a story. She was happy, when Snellenberger, they were recruiting me throughout the entire school year. I would get tickets to go to their home games
Yeah.
during my senior year, and I never forget Snellenberger coming to my house to visit my parents, and he had a pipe. And my dad, I
Right.
said, oh boy, I said to
Uh-oh.
myself, oh boy. But hey, my dad he didn't have to say much. He's just all he said, Mr. Snellenberger, you're not gonna find an ashtray in this house anywhere. And that's all he had to say. When he said that, he said, okay, Mr. Rolle, I understand. He took that pipe, put it in his pocket.
Put it
That was
away.
the respect. So,
Right.
there's no smoking in this house. I'm a preacher. So,
Exactly.
and another funny thing, Jeff, in high school, I don't know if I ever told you this or you knew this, but St. Thomas was recruiting me. They
I
were
know they
recruiting
were.
me.
Yeah.
They want, because they recruit. They wanted me to come there to
Yeah.
one of the top players in Broward County.
Yeah.
But my dad said, "Oh no, buddy. That's a Catholic school. You
Right.
think a Pentecostal
You
and Catholic
Pentecost.
that don't match. That doesn't clash.
Okay.
That's a clash." So my dad said, "No, buddy. We no Catholic schools here." So I
Yeah.
said, "Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead."
We actually heard. I found out that later on in life that I think George Coach Smith, I think had
Uh-huh.
something to do with trying to get you there. But bruh, this
Yeah.
is when it was a play. I think we were playing. I think we were at South Broward. We were playing South Broward, I believe, at Broward,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and I think you remember this. And when I saw this happen, when I saw this happen, I just knew right then my brother was special. And I know they rant and rave about what Metcalf did, running people down, running that guy
Yeah.
down. But you did
Yeah.
that back in the 80s. You remember?
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I know
remember?
what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
You
tell you.
ran this guy down. I'm looking at this, and we're stopping in the field. We're looking like, no, he didn't just do that.
So you know
That's when
what?
I know, bro. That's when I know that you were special, and you were going to go on and do great things, man.
No,
That
thank you,
right
man.
there. When I saw that play, I'm like, wow, this
You know,
dude is on another level. Cause what? I was like, what, probably 5'8", 5'9",
yeah, yeah.
165. So, you
Hmm.
know,
You know
but
how you remember South Broward was our home field. So that game,
exactly.
that game I remember like it was yesterday. I have an old footage, a CD somebody burnt for me with some footage
Oh,
that we were playing Northeast. I mean, remember they
right.
had that star running back Leon Pennington,
Leon, yeah. Mm-hmm.
and I was playing middle linebacker, and they threw a slant to a wide receiver. He started down the field. I'm looking down. I say, nobody, he done burnt our BB. So I just took off running. Before you know, I grabbed him by the back of the jersey, snatched him down. He had at least 20, 30, 20 yards
Yeah,
on me.
oh yeah.
Yeah, 20
He had
yards.
at least,
So
yeah, he had at least about a good 40, 25, 40,
yeah,
30 yards on you.
yeah, he was out there. So I listen, Jeff. I let my raw talent and God's gift
Yeah.
just go to work, man. And you know, like I said, I didn't know football until I got to the stage of just understanding the game at a senior during my senior year, into my senior year. I started understanding the game better, started coming to me. And once
Yeah.
Steve Shanagle, who played up linebacker, he played
Mm-hmm.
middle linebacker,
Mm-hmm.
he got hurt. And
Right.
Mr. Kirby, you remember Mr. Kirby?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he had me down on the defensive tackle on the ground playing nose guard because I remember playing South Power that first game. I had 20 solo tackles, and I'm like, wow, this is fun. But when I was able to stand up and see the whole field, I say, that's it. I don't want to go back down to the ground. I told Kurt, I said, listen, this is where I want to be right here. Shanagle got healthy. He wasn't happy. He wasn't happy, but they moved him to the other side.
Other
So I
side.
said, listen, I want to be able to see the field. I can see everything. I'm standing up. So that,
Right.
like I said, once that happened, man, God just
It
started
was
just,
over.
hey,
Yeah.
he's like, he had his anointing on me. He said, listen, this is where you need to go. You need to go over here. He's pointing me in directions and I'm just doing it. And at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you know, the blessings came down, man. I was able to go to school, you know, get a free scholarship, take advantage of my education and, you know, do a lot, man. And thank God, you know, my blessings go to him. You
Yeah.
know that. This is
So
how we talk about things.
so how did you feel in 86, bro? How did you feel in 86 when you got the call around? I mean, I know it was round
Uh
7, but
yeah.
180 pick. How did you feel to
Yeah.
know you were about to go into the NFL?
I know. Listen, that time they had 12 rounds. And Mel Kiper, who's still around ESPN, I was
Mm-hmm.
projected to go in the third round because, you know, they do their projections to the tight ends. And I was projecting me and another tight end out of Houston, Carlton Hilton. I'll never forget that we were projected. But the draft is so unpredictable sometimes on that day.
Right.
You see a lot of guys sitting there waiting like, oh man, they don't get picked up in this round. So it didn't bother me. I just say, you know, God's will is going to happen. Well, it's 12 rounds. I know at some point I'll get drafted. So I get that call. I'm in my apartment in Michigan, and I'm getting that call from Hank Buller, who was with the Bills. He was coaching,
Mm-hmm.
head coach. He's like, he say, hey, it's Hank Buller from the Buffalo Bills. He's like, if I draft you, would you catch the ball? Would you block for me like you did at Michigan State? I said, Coach, you draft me, I'll show you what I can do. And sure enough, man, they had like three seventh picks, A, B, and C. I think I was A or B, one of those draft picks, but they
Mm-hmm.
drafted me. And like I said, the rest is history. God, you know, that first year he came in, they had a strike. Hank Bullock was fired because of the record they had. And Marv Levy came in, who's, you know, everybody know the legendary Marv Levy. And
Right.
man, when Marv came in, everything just turned around. Everything just started. We had some studs on our team, starting with Jim Kelly, because that was his first year. Even though he was drafted early, he went to the
Mm-hmm.
USFL. So his first year was 1986. And I would always tell him about a story when I went to my visit. I would see him sitting on the table, you know, had too many beers, sitting there laughing, and on the table at University of Miami. We talk about that story. He tell me how, yeah, man, I used to be at UM because he's from Pittsburgh originally. So he tell me, yeah, I used to be at University of Miami. I had a good time there. I say, yeah, I can tell that night you had a great time. But no, it was a good time because 1986 was the year that I came in, and we had a strike year after that, and then Marv just turned the program around, turned everything around. You know, we had
Mm-hmm.
those 4 Super Bowls, and I was fortunate enough to be in 2 of those Super Bowls, and they gave me an assignment to be the go-to guy on the touchdown. Where I still have this record. I guess it's still out there. For people always tell me every time I go somewhere, they remind me it's still out there. That's 14 consecutive catches for
Yeah,
touchdowns.
I was going to hit on that, man.
Oh,
Um, I don't know if that still standing.
yes, Jeff. Let me tell you, I tell people that record may be a little hard to break because they would have to catch 14 straight in order to either tie it or either go surpass it. And that's
Right.
difficult because the job that I had was I was a blocking tight end. I was strong, even though I can catch the ball. But we had a running game. We had Thurman Thomas. We had an offensive line that was big as ever. So I was strong as an ox. Coming from that roll bloodline, I was strong as an ox, and I was able. They wanted me to do a lot of blocking, but for some reason at the goal line, Marv Levy designated that my territory. That's what he said. This is
Uh-huh.
your territory because I can get open. I will sell the runs so well, and he liked the way I sold the run because you can never tell if I'm going out for a pass or I'm blocking. So that became my go-to spot. And man, every time we ran that play, it was open. I told Jim, I said, "Listen, man, we can run this play every single game, and I can score off of it." So I'm lobbying. I'm like, I want me. I'm lobbying all throughout the season, but yeah, but that play was open, man. It's just
Yeah.
that they never seemed to cover it, and it was so unbelievable
Right.
because
I'm,
people
I'm
would
like,
laugh.
and that was the crazy thing about it. Here you got somebody that's coming up on with the first six, the first seven. You would think, okay, down on the
Yeah,
goal line, okay, let's look for this because it's gonna
Roll,
happen.
watch
It's
number
been happening
87.
too
Yeah,
often, but they still
but you know what,
wouldn't
Jeff?
adjust to it.
They will not adjust. I don't know if they just committed to the run that much because that's what every defensive coach or defensive coordinator always says: commit to the run first because that's the easiest thing to do it over the
Right.
top or a dive or right goal line stance. But they never. I seen like that play was always called at the right time, and it and every time we called it, we scored. So I just laugh. I would actually literally laugh, man, when I scored because I'm like, you guys are just funny. I One year I got to remember we played Phoenix. Anthony Bell was from Boyd Anderson. He was drafted to Arizona, first round
Mm-hmm.
pick, and
Mm-hmm.
he was covering me on the goal line, and I'm laughing to myself because I know we're about to run it, but he doesn't know. So I get in my stance as though I'm about to block, and I'm talking to him. I say, "Yeah, homeboy." I call him, "Homeboy, I'm about to blow you off this ball right now." So he said, "Yeah, bring it on." So I crouched down in my 4-point stand, and the ball snap. I slip out through that crack and go to the corner. I said he was a second late, dude. When you're a second late, it's over. The ball's gone. I'm in the end zone
It's
laughing,
already there.
doing
Yeah.
my bow, my touchdown bow, and I see him shaking his head like this on the film. And every time I see that film, I see him shaking his head. And I come back, I say, "I got you."
Hey,
Oh
listen,
God, that's
I,
funny.
I need I hey, listen, I was going through your stats and stuff, man. And I noticed something. I pulled up 87 from 87, 88, 89, and 90
Hmm.
kickoff return.
Yeah, I had a couple of kickoff returns that I
Yeah.
guess that because I was at wing back on the kickoff return team, and they would pooch kick the ball in the numbers. I always stood on the numbers, so they would pooch the ball, and I would catch the ball. Hey, I'm like, okay, the ball's coming to me. The coach always said, "Listen, fair catch," or sometimes I'm like, "Fair catch. If it's coming to me and nobody's coming, I want to take off and get some yards." So a couple of times I was able to do that, man. Or they would squib kick it. It comes to me. I'm like, okay, I'm just going straight
Yeah.
upfield, get as much yards as I can. But yeah, that's what you're seeing there. Those short kicks that they pooched in the by the numbers.
Yeah, because I know in 87 you had one, 88 you had one, 89 you had two, 90 you had
Yeah,
two, and then with Phoenix
yeah,
you had another one. And I'm like,
yeah.
wait a minute, I don't too much remember that happening, but I can believe it did happen. I
I
can
know.
believe it did happen. I believe it
Yeah,
did.
that's what it
Hey,
was.
listen, I want to get in this, and I've always wanted to ask you this question. Um, man, being in that locker room with the likes of
Hmm.
like Jim Kelly, uh, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, Bruce
Yeah,
Smith.
a
Man,
lot of
that
Hall
had
of
to be
Famers.
like you look back now. and that
Yes.
had to be special. That had to be
Yeah.
some
Yes.
special moments in that locker room with you guys, because during that time, those years, you guys were like the team. Y'all
Yeah.
were the team.
Oh man, Jeff, let me tell you, I look like you say, I look back because those guys are my teammates. We're like a brotherhood, and we see each other a lot doing events. The Bills may have a Legends event, or Jim has a golf event every year, and all the guys come back, and it's so good to see those guys. I just saw Bruce, as a matter of fact. He had his own event. My band actually played at the gala,
Mhm.
and he we talking, we're sitting in the lobby of the hotel talking. Bruce is doing a lot of things. He was helping the young man's family, the community, when they had that shooting in Buffalo. You remember the Tops, the grocery
Right.
store
Yeah.
shooting? So
Right.
Bruce wanted to come back and be a part of that and do a fundraiser, a golf event, first annual golf event, to raise money in honor of Aaron Shelters. That's the guy who was killed, one of the security guys, the cop,
Mhm.
ex-cop. He was killed, and he wanted to do a scholarship in his name. And for a first time event, annual event, it turned out beautiful. He raised a lot of money, and the gala was great. They wanted my band to play, and we played, and it was a beautiful time, man. An opportunity to see a lot of the guys, and also give back to that community, because they were hurting. They were, their hearts were down because of that shooting, that senseless shooting. This kid comes over 300-400 miles away to commit those acts. And so
Right.
Bruce said, listen, I'm going in. I want to do something to help, trying to soothe this community, help calm this community down, and help them out. And a lot of guys came up and helped. And I even did
That's great.
something in
Right.
Tonawanda with my band. We did a musical thing just to try and raise some money for the kids. But it was always something those special seeing those guys. And like I said, those guys are all Hall of Famers. You got Thurman, you got Andre,
Yeah.
um, Bruce, James Lofton,
Right.
Cornelius Bennett, Daryl Talley.
Right.
I can go down the line, and all the guys that
Right.
played were just special, man.
There's some
It was
legends on
always,
that team, man.
yes. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Some
definitely.
serious legends on that team. And just to be in the
Yes,
midst of
those
that,
guys.
man, and have that connection now with them, I'm sure that's
Yes,
special. That's a special
yes,
moment. I've always wanted to ask you that
yeah,
how
man.
did that come about? Now you already hit on it. I'm gonna go into it. You talked about your band, and this is what I was telling you my FL my SFL audience. This young man used to make me sick. I mean, I play drums. He played
Hey,
drums.
you
But
taught me. I learned from you
oh
with drums.
man,
So,
listen, stop it. Let me tell this story.
so
No,
no,
but no,
hey,
on
listen,
this.
no, you and JoJo, your uncle JoJo, and you guys. Let me tell. I gotta say this before you tell your story, because I'm laughing at it, because my dad being a preacher, he was over there in the Dania Church of God in
Yes,
Riverdale
sir.
and all
Yes,
that.
sir.
So when we're home, my our house is like a street behind the church. And
Right.
I could sit here, man, Jeff, when we're not at church, my dad said there's church, but he leave the kids home. You can sit from our front door, you can hear the music playing. I'm like, man, these guys are having a good time over there. So I go out the house, I'm running out the house, cross the alley, cross there, and I'm looking in the window, because the church had those windows. You look in the
Those
windows,
windows, yeah,
I
back
see you
then.
guys, I see you playing the drum. Yeah, I see you playing the drums. I see JoJo. I see your brother, God bless the dead. He playing the bass, and I see Roosevelt playing the guitar. And I was in awe. I'm like, man, these guys are having a good time. So, so you guys, that Church of God, you and your little crew, you guys got to start. But I was part of that church as well, man. We come there, we
Yeah,
have our
right.
time there.
Mhm.
So we like a
That's
brotherhood, and we
family.
like family. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
our family
family.
church. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was funny. So you can tell your story, man. I had to
Yeah,
tell.
but this is the thing. This is the thing. Y'all heard all that. Yeah, he was trying to stroke me. He's trying to make me feel good. But this is the thing where
What?
I used to get so upset. I used to be so mad because I played drums. He played drums, and we were in the jazz band together.
Yes,
And
yes.
I'm saying I I wanted always to have a second instrument to play, but I always struggle with that. I wanted to play bass, I wanted to play saxophone, but this guy can pick up a saxophone, he can pick up a lead guitar, he can pick up a bass, he can pick up a trombone, he can pick up the keyboard, he can pick up or and play it all. And I'm like, no, Jesus, Lord, where am I? I don't just want to be stuck at the drums. I want to play something else. And I
Hey
used to
man, no,
be so
you
upset.
were
Now,
great on the
now
drums,
y'all
man.
don't get it twisted. Now, I never had a jealous spirit with my brother at all. But I was
No,
just
that
like,
never came out,
dang,
man.
how does he do it? But you just had that gift, man. You just had that gift.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I like I said, I just just to piggyback off what you said. Listen, we were brothers, man. We like I said, we never had a judge. We always lifted each other. Like I said, I learned from you guys, and you guys will let me try and play. Sometimes, I'm like, I'm not ready to play it in front of everybody. I was a little nervous, so I'm like, nah, I'll watch. But listen, it's just a gift, man. God's gift. I have
Yeah,
that ear. I
yeah.
don't read music. I just
Right,
play from my ear. I
right.
hear it. I play it, and that's what I
You
tell
play
people.
it.
People always ask me, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can hear
Yeah.
it. I have the ear, and I just get to it. I get there and I play it. So that's a gift
Well,
that
that used
God
to
gave
drive
all
me
of us.
crazy. I'm like, Lord, give me that ear, but I could just pick up something and just play it. But that was just you. That was where you were. You just had that gift, man, and that's why I always talk about you when it comes to music. People, you
Thank you,
don't
man.
know that, but when I'm having conversation with musicians and whatever, the one thing that I notice about you that you've always had that humble spirit. You try to play that
Yes.
shy thing too. Um, but you've always had that humble spirit, never arrogant, never like,
No.
it's all about you. You've always wanted, you try and learn, but you also shared. And that's the
Yes.
thing that I always appreciated about you, that even when you reached the plateau of being at the NFL, you still
Hmm.
was Butch Rolle. You
Absolutely.
didn't change that. At least
That's
not with
it,
me.
man.
I don't know about
No.
nobody else. At least not with
No,
me.
I can attest to that. No, bro, I look at myself. That's what makes it different. I get a lot of people, a lot of fans now that come and approach me, and they always say, "I remember you. Oh man, you were so different from the other guys." I say, listen, that's my upbringing. That's what I grew up in a family, a religious Christian family, and my dad was humble. You had the confidence to be a man to do. You can do things. You just do it. That's what it is. And I never boast about it. Only time I boast about it when I could catch a touchdown. Of course, I'm gonna celebrate. I'm gonna do my bow. I'm gonna
Right,
do my spike. I'm gonna
right.
do my dance, and that's what it's all about. But other than that, yeah, I know people are people, Jeff, and I look at it like that. God blessed me to be at that level, and now I'm no different. I just had a calling. I just had an athletic calling that he was able to allow me to do the things I'm doing at a certain level that a lot of, college athletes, a lot of athletes couldn't do. So I was blessed because I had to be humble about it. Because I know a lot of guys who had the big head. That's what we call it, the big head, and
Right, right,
that don't last. That doesn't last,
right.
man.
No, no.
You come
So tell
down
me
at some
about this
point.
band, man.
Oh, listen, and I had the foundation, by the way. I know just to talk about that. My foundation, the Butch Rolle Kids Foundation, we provide scholarships for underprivileged kids in the South Florida area, Buffalo area, and I in Texas area, all these different states that I'm part of, and we're trying to implement this idea of just helping kids all over the nation. And what I did about 2 years ago,
Another one.
being that I love my music, I was able to play in a venue one time, and I liked the way my guitar sound on a big stage. I never heard my guitar sound that way on a in a stage because I never played on a stage other than just playing at home or playing a little smaller areas. I was able to be in an event in Virginia one year. Oh my goodness! I said, "Wait a minute, is that my guitar sounding like that through these big, huge speakers? With the monitors?" Because I've never experienced that, and I'm gonna tell you, man. And when I heard that, I'm like, wait, I have something here. I like this. I can continue to do this. And so what I did, Jeff, I added that facet. I added it to my venue when I do my events. If there's room or if there's opportunity for my band, I have a bunch of guys, a couple of guys I play with in Buffalo, blues, jazz, and we play. And if I can add that to the event, and I do, and that's usually how it is. That's when you guys probably see me online playing because I'm at an event that I'm doing for the foundation, and that's our music we're playing. We're providing music, which I have something in a couple of weeks in San Antonio, Texas. I'm playing with a band. So a lot of the times I'm picking bands. I'm meeting guys at the spot. We're not practicing. We're just exchanging music. I'm playing, I'm learning the parts I have to do. I'm doing my part at home, and they're doing what they. So by the time we meet up, we're ready to play, and it comes out nice because they're musicians, and as long as you have good musicians, as you know, it's you have a good sound. You just have the confidence in knowing that they're going to be able to follow the songs, and they're basic songs. They're not nothing hard. They're basic, easy songs, and it's just having a fun time, adding another facet to the foundation's event just to make people happy and to raise more funds. So that's what we
What
do with that.
what pushed you? But what pushed you to yeah? What pushed you to go to this foundation? What caught your attention where you like, you know what? This is something I want to do. I guess I want to say what drew you to do this, to create this foundation caring for kids?
Right. Well, you know what? Back in 2012, I established this. Prior to that, Lorenzo White, who you mentioned earlier in the interview, Lorenzo had a foundation that when you're in Florida, guys go and support your foundation, and I used to go and support his foundation all the time, and I seen the things he was doing with the AMI kids and just helping out the Covenant House, just different things, and I said, you know what? I'm from Florida. I want to do something like this. I'm here now, and I can establish this groundwork. So I work with kids, and I want to be able to give back. And his vice president, Robin West, her name is, I approached her and I said, hey, Robin, listen, I want to start a foundation. I need your help? Because she the one helped him start his. I say, give me, what do I need to do? How do I set it up? So we did the paperwork, the corporation, the nonprofit corporation. We did all of that and established it back in 2012. And each year I started slow. I had donors donating money because I was helping kids in the football. I was coaching little league football as well, and these kids, a lot of kids from the inner city would come, don't have shoes, don't have gear. So I say, you know what? Let me help these kids out. So I found a couple of donors at some golf events. By the way, that's a good event. That's a good venue to go to golf, and you find a lot of
Mhm.
people helping out.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I found a couple of donors that was religiously giving every single year. So I said, you know what? I have the foundation. When I started the foundation, I just started incorporating over to that. And it started building from there. And we're right now, as you see, when you see online, I'm somewhere all the time, and I'm always gone. And especially in the football season, because that's the most busiest time. And I'm trying to, what I do, these Bills backers, sports bars around the
Mhm.
nation. I approach them. They love when players come in and they're doing something for the community. They love to jump aboard. So I approach them, let them know what we're doing. I say, you want to co-partner with the foundation and raising money for this day while we're watching the Bills game, while we're yelling and everybody's having a good time. You got over 100, 200 people, depending on the size of the backers club.
Mhm.
You have these type of people. They're there yelling and having a good time, and at the same time, I have raffle items. I have signed jerseys. I have different items and different things that they can purchase or
Mhm.
either win. So they're in on it, and once they find out what's going on, well, I'd send them to the website. I say, listen, go to the website. You see what we're doing. This is what it is. This is what my passion is. And man, it's been working. God's been blessing. And like I
Wow.
said, we go to these events on day weekly, and I'm doing events and
Yeah.
raising the money just to
Yeah.
help the kids
Yeah.
out, just
Yeah.
to do my part, man.
Yeah. Because I saw I ran across a video that you
Hmm.
have expressing just showing what you do and how you was giving. I was
Yes.
trying to down, I don't know, I was trying to down, but it wouldn't let me download it to
Okay.
for us to play it. So if you have something uh, uh something that you can send me later through
Okay.
email or
Okay.
whatever,
Okay.
send me that, and I me, bro, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put it out there.
Yes.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
but I saw it, and I knew I already had known how you were, the money that you've given these kids, and
Yeah. We
scholarship
get
money that
scholars.
you've been giving for years and years. And
Yes, man.
a lot of
It's my
people
low.
don't know it.
It's my neighborhood. It's my neighborhood. It's
Right.
ours. It's my community. And so I say, I'm here now. I'm back in Florida. It's like I don't live in Buffalo. I don't live in another state. So I'm here where I grew up, and the things I've done in the community, done as a child and just done in the community. it's, it's important to me that I show that, hey, I'm ready to do this. This is what I want to continue. I want to, right now, I don't know if I told you, but I'm getting my doctorate. I have to put this out there, man. I'm getting my doctorate.
All
I
right,
told you,
Doc.
I don't know if I'm
No, no, you
Oh,
didn't.
I forgot to mention that, man.
Oh
I got to give
man,
God blessing. I got to give God blessings because
congratulations.
today I just received my IRB approval where I
Okay.
can continue to do my data collection. I'm at the tail end right now. Once I start my data
Right.
collection, that's the last
Yeah,
chapter
that's it.
4 and
Right.
5,
Right.
and chapter 4 and 5. Then I do my defend my study. Then I let God handle the rest. So I just say I was just before the show. I found that out a few hours ago. My chair text me the approval letter that came from the IRB because I've been working on this
Wow.
application for the past 2.5, 3 months, and a lot of little tweaks and twerks here. We have to go back and revise this and revise that,
Right.
and once I did that, I say, man, I say thank you, Jesus, because I was like,
Yeah, that's
this is
big,
a
man.
doc. But those who are
Hmm.
working on the doctorate, it's tough, man. It's tough, and think
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, you got a lot
Everything
of
I'm
it's a lot involved in it. A lot of
and
writing and
think about
dictation and all that.
Yeah, think about what everything I'm doing. I'm working on a doctorate with all the traveling, with all the events. So, hey, God, only one person that can be helping me do that. That's the man upstairs. Because I look back at myself sometimes, Jeff. I say, how am I doing all of this? But it's happening. So,
You covered, man. You covered, brother.
yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So I am. I am.
Oh man, that's great. Hey, listen, man, congratulations. That's
Thank
big,
you,
brother.
man.
That's big,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you.
That's big because yeah,
Yeah.
you are busy. You go a lot,
Yeah.
and that's why I was so honored to be able to get you, man, to come on and just let's sit down and I just wanted to
Yeah. I
share.
appreciate it. I appreciate
Yeah, I
it,
just
man. This
wanted to
is
share your
awesome.
journey, your testimony, your the things that you're doing with my audience and with those that really don't know all that you do, because sometimes people just they see you, but they don't know everything that you
Right.
do. So
Exactly.
I wanted to expose it and let people know he's just not, hanging around just, he's doing big
I
things, you're doing big things, and you're
I
blessing a lot of
appreciate it.
kids. And man, listen, that's why you're so blessed, and that's why you're able to do the
Yeah.
things that you do,
I appreciate
because
it,
you know what
brother.
I'm saying, because you blessing others. And that's something,
Yeah.
I guess that's a foundation that just was instilled in you from your dad, your mom, because they always gave, they were givers,
Yes.
and they
Absolutely.
blessed those and blessed many. And us growing up, coming up, we didn't have that. We didn't really have people,
Right.
sharing, giving us
Exactly.
whatever.
Not at
So
all.
that
Not at all.
makes me, I know when I do it, that makes me, I think
Oh
about that and
yeah.
I'm like, wow, I know the struggles that I had. So I maybe if these kids don't have to do that struggle, they'll be, because I tell the kids, my kids that I coach a lot of times, and I see they weight rooms and all this stuff. I say, y'all, you just don't understand how well y'all have it.
Hey, we had a
Because
universe. We
what
had
our
one little
weight room was
universal
like the
machine.
size of maybe our room.
Jeff, we had one universal machine. Remember that universal
Yeah,
machine they had in the middle? That's all they
right.
had.
That
I was
was
like, God,
it.
you make me
And a
laugh.
few little dumbbell, hand weights. That was it. And
Yes,
they don't
yes.
understand. And
Oh,
and I think about it, just think if we did have that proper equipment
oh,
and quality stuff, just how better
thank
you would have been.
you. Think I would have been a maniac out
Oh
there on
my
the field,
God.
bro?
I maybe would even made it to the NFL.
I know. Hey, I would have said, "Come on, man, let's take this Hallandale connection on the road, man." That's what it
Listen,
would have
listen, man. So
been.
that's why I get what you do. I appreciate what you do, man, and I honor what you do because it's not easy. It's not an easy
Yeah,
road, but like you say,
no, it's not.
um, you doing what you're doing now. I know you've been doing this thing with your doctorate, man, and doing all this stuff that you
Yeah,
do. Listen, man, God have you covered.
I have to. Yeah, he does, man. I thank him every day when I wake up, and I have to go back to what you said earlier when we started about how did I escape the being the preacher part of it. I was laughing because I talk to Javen sometimes, so I look at it like this: everybody has their calling, everybody has their
Exactly.
role, and I have my sister Chiquita, Howard, Pat, and all those. They're preachers. That's the calling they had. God
Yeah.
had another plan for me, I know the word, like you said. I know the word. Hey, when I sing these songs, I'm singing. Sometimes I laugh to myself. Oh, I got to get my preacher voice on, so I start singing the song. But the answer to that, Jeff, my calling is what it is, man. I'm helping. He put me in a position, put me in a platform, gave me this brand to help kids out. That's my calling. So
Right.
I tell everybody can't be a preacher. I grew up in a preaching family, but my calling is what it is. I'm still blessed. I'm still doing the blessings that he allowed me to do, the blessings that he had provided to help kids out and help people out and to move these kids, help them understand that, listen, you don't have to stop here. You don't have to stop in
Right.
Hallandale. You can go
Right.
past Hollywood or go past Miramar. Get out of
Right.
here. Do something with your life.
Right.
What you see, it's out there. The world is yours. Just go and just
Right.
focus and have that desire to want to achieve and want to excel.
Right.
Because that's how I looked at it. I'm a little kid from Hallandale. That's a small area. We didn't have that suburban lifestyle. I grew up
Oh.
working hard. My dad was a blue collar, had his
Mhm.
landscaping business, and
Yeah.
when I when I
That's
when
true.
I got to Michigan State, man, I say, hey, I'm here to stay. God keep me healthy, protect me. I used to call my mom every game, even when I played in the NFL. I would call my mom before every game. You know what she's doing? She's saying a prayer for me over the phone. I
Oh
say,
yeah.
Mom, this is our prayer time. So I call her up. She's saying a prayer. I go out. I'm covered. I never got hurt, thank God. In the NFL,
Thank God.
other than like normal bumps and bruises, but
Right. Right.
God was good to me, man. In a
Right.
physical game where the rules weren't modified back then. Now,
Mhm.
these rules they have now, these are some cupcake rules, man. I like
Yeah,
to say.
okay. Okay. This is a
So
ticky tack now.
yeah, and like I said, I look at Tom Brady. He's playing in the era now. That's why he's playing 20 some years. If they
Right.
didn't change those rules, Tom Brady would have been out there
He wouldn't have
about
made
10
it.
years ago. He would have been
Right.
out there 10 long probably before then because so I was
Right.
covered, man. I played in
Right.
a
Yeah.
time where there was no rules. Basically,
Right.
there was flags, but sometimes they don't care. You get speared, you get clipped, you get
Yeah.
hit from blind side. All of these rules, man, none of that existed when I played, and God was able to cover me from that, a rough sport, which it's the violent sport. But I
Yeah.
thank God I stayed focused. I did my lifting, working out hard, staying dedicated, don't not drinking, not hanging, doing taking
Mhm.
care of my body, and
Right.
that's what covered me. That's what kept me going for
Right.
all these times being protected.
Right. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. You may not have the title of pastor, bishop, elder, minister, but what
Hmm.
all that you've been doing is ministry.
Yes,
And I
that's
always
true.
say this, I always tell people, you don't have to have a title to do ministry.
Hmm.
You don't have to
Absolutely, I
have
agree.
that collar to save someone, to help someone, because Jesus didn't say that you had to be saved to help others. He just said,
Absolutely,
love your neighbor
that's it.
as
Love
as
your
I
neighbor.
love the church. So
Hmm.
all that love that he has for the church, that's the same love we have to put forth to others. And that's what you've been showing. You may not have the reverend title, you may not have the bishop title, but you are doing
Right.
ministry, brother. You are doing
Absolutely.
ministry, and you're blessing
Yes.
so many in what you're doing. So everything that's been instilled with you, everything your mom placed in you, everything your dad placed in you in the spirit, and what how you came up in the church and how you came up just
Absolutely.
in that house.
Hmm.
You're doing it,
That's true.
you're doing it now, because what you're doing is the foundation that they laid for you. So
Yep. That's the truth.
I'm gonna say,
That's the
bro, keep
truth.
doing what you're doing.
Thank you, man.
You
Thank you.
blessing so
Appreciate it.
many. Whenever you can
Thank you.
bring a smile on a kid's face, because that's what I mean. Jesus said we're supposed to take care of the seniors and the children. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
I
so
agree.
that's
I
what you're doing.
appreciate it.
You're doing ministry, brother. So continue to do
And
that ministry, man.
I
Um,
do. And I appreciate those who acknowledge that and that see what I'm doing, and that may follow me or even hear about it. I appreciate that in the area where we're at and all over it, because that's important to me. Because I tell everybody when I make announcements, when we're talking about, I say, there's no us without you. So I can't do
right,
what I'm doing without you. So
right,
with those prayers and
right,
donations they're doing, that's a blessing, man. So
right.
I'll keep doing it as long as God had me here on this earth. I'm going to keep doing it and keep doing that. That's another reason I want this doctorate, so I can open more doors. Because I
right.
tell people, everybody asks me, what are you going to do? You want to be a principal? Like, no, I don't want to be no principal. I want to do things. I want to be able
Yeah,
to
you
support my,
doing that to lock you down and not be able to do the things that you really want to do.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Jeff, I want to
yeah,
use that title to, like I said, to open doors and to really excel and
right.
to get more and bigger donors to come in
Hmm.
and say, "Hey, I like what you're doing. You've shown that you've put your dedication in. From you have a bachelor's, you have a master's, now you have a doctorate. So that's important. That's important.
Right.
I want to make sure
Yeah.
that people see that, and I'm able to just provide more. I want to help as many kids possible all over the world if I can.
Right.
So yeah,
Hey man, listen, this has been great. I really enjoyed
yes.
this. Once again, brother, thank you for coming on. Thank you for accepting the
No, thank you for
invitation.
having me, man.
No,
Thank you.
man,
I appreciate it.
it's my honor to have you on, man, and just to have this talk and to share you with my audience. And listen, before you go, um,
Uh-huh.
we showed the foundation logo and everything, but if you can, just real quick, just give us. We'll put it on the screen if we
Okay.
can. Just give
The,
us
the
the
the website,
information where they can reach you. Yeah, the website where they can reach you.
you want it www.thebutchrollefoundation.org. That's once again www.thebutchrollefoundation.org. And that site shows our website in detail, what we're doing in the past events we've had and everything that's tied to the foundation. You'll see what we're doing. They have a donation button on there. So if somebody want to go and bless us and be
Hmm.
part of it, hey, I appreciate it, guys. It's all love, and it's like I said, everything's helping the kids because even during the day, I work with the charter school over here in Miramar. I'm helping those
Right,
kids all day and every day. Mentoring, just talking to my seniors about
right,
college and telling them, pushing them to don't be lazy. Sign up, fill out that application so you can apply for my scholarship. So these are the things
right.
I'm doing, and with meal plans, tutoring, all of these things, Jeff. So that's important. So that's the website. So guys,
All right, so
everybody,
that I think is that right? What you see there, the Butch Rolle
yes.
Foundation.org.
Foundation.org. Yeah, .org.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
That's it,
So
guys.
once again, my South Florida Live family, if you want to be great help and support this wonderful move that my brother is got going on and be a support of him, there's the website. Go onto the website and he have a plethora of information that you can get and be a part of it and join them. I'm gonna do better about about participating in your
Yeah,
foundation
Jeff. Hey,
activities.
you and I talked briefly before, maybe a few months back, about we got to collaborate and do something to help.
Yeah,
Because you're doing the same thing for the community. You're helping kids.
yeah,
You're like me. You want to help these kids. You
right,
coach track. You do a lot, man. And this is how we
right,
this is what we're here for. This is what we do, and
right,
we need to collaborate and do something together just to raise funds to help more kids in
yeah,
our community and just to show them, hey, listen, you have it here. I know you may not be, you can't afford to do certain things. You may be
yeah.
short. Like I said, I call ourselves the X factor. That
Mm-hmm.
college tuition that we provide may be just
Right,
enough to help them get past that to get
right,
settled in. So
right. Because every little bit helps. Every little bit helps.
absolutely, man.
Yeah, every little bit
Absolutely.
helps. So yeah, hey, I mean, when you get back, man, let's sit down and do lunch or whatever.
Yes,
And let's
let's
talk about it
absolutely.
and make something happen. Hey, listen, once again, guys, you have been locked in and tuned in to the South Florida Live Show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Brown, and you just heard it from my brother, my friend, the former NFL player, the great musician, and just a great young man, period. Butch Rolle from the Butch Rolle, former player of the Buffalo Bills, but he is doing some mighty work for our kids. And once again, if you haven't got it, please pass this on the Butch Rolle Foundation.org. And man, we appreciate you.
Thank
We
you.
really do.
Likewise.
Thank you for coming. And I know you're out of town, so hey, safe travels
Thank
on
you.
your
Thank you, Jeff.
return. Hit me up when you get back, man.
I sure will. For sure I will, man. Thank you for having me on, brother. Stay blessed.
All right, you too, my brother.
All right. Take care.
Hey, listen, guys, y'all heard it. You've heard it. You've heard it. You've heard it. Live right here on the South Florida Live Show. My brother, my friend, Butch Rolle, NFL, former NFL player for the Buffalo Bills, also has a foundation that's doing a wonderful work with kids. Hey, listen, That's why I'm asking you, everyone, if you can, plant a seed, be a blessing to this show. um the Cash App information is on the screen. Help us out, be a blessing, sow a seed, if you will. We try and bless those, as many as we can. And there's some things down the pipe for next year that the South Florida Live Show wants to do, that's off the air, that's outside of the studio. So that's why I say we really need your help and support, financially, to do those things that we don't. Trust me, you would thank me later. We're not trying to take any money. We're not trying to live off this. We're just trying to be a blessing and do some great things for others, just like my brother was saying. And there are some things next year down the line that we want to do. There are some guests that we want to bring on and have conversation with. So listen, uh, it's on the screen. Go ahead, and if you mind, go ahead and bless us and be a blessing to the South Florida Live Show. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Butch Rolle, my brother, my friend, on this evening. And once again, I appreciate that. Hey, listen. There's before we go. I know you guys see this wonderful shirt I have on. Yes, y'all see this wonderful shirt I have on. If you want to have one of these wonderful shirts too, right there, you can just email us, and we would get with you, and help you get one of these wonderful shirts. If not that one, we have this one. That's the favorite. Everyone likes that one. I showed this one. Everyone liked this one. It's a nice one. And the young lady who yeah, so you guys can email us at the South Florida Live Show at gmail.com if you want to purchase one of these shirts. And we will give you the information. We will tell you how much it costs, and all that good stuff. Trust me, we're not trying to break you. We're not trying to get anything back from it. We just want to, you know, advertise our the show. So if you enjoy the show, you enjoy our guests that come on, you enjoy being a part of the show, be a blessing. Be a blessing. Get your shirt. Get you a nice shirt. They are wonderful, wonderful. And I want to give a shout out to Pamela. Yeah, Pamela Glover. Glover. She's the one who designed the shirt. She designed both shirts, and listen, she does a wonderful job, um, of designing shirts and information. I think we have her information. We're gonna put on the screen. If you want to contact her and reach out to her, shout out to Pamela Glover. Um, we're gonna put her information, at least the phone number. I don't know if his email address is on there, but if we got an email address on there, put an email address on the screen, that we can um, share her information, for those that need shirts made. She does shirts. I think she does hats and all that good stuff. Um, she kind of hurt my feelings because this shirt, this one here, it's a wonderful shirt. I love it. And I have on my team, I have two wonderful young ladies that's a part of my team, that's part of the South Florida Live team. And around the mic, now you see this? Let me show y'all. Y'all see it real good. You see the mic on mine's? Just playing. It's nice. I love it. But for the ladies, she blings the ladies. She blings the mic for the ladies. So if you're a young lady that want to purchase this shirt, trust me, let me know if you're a female, if you're a young lady. She's gonna bling that. She's gonna put a special little stuff around the mic. And yeah, I'm like, okay. So the brothers don't get bling, just the sisters. Okay. But anyway, I love it. I love the design. She did a wonderful job on those. Once again, Pamela Glover. I think we have her information. We're gonna put on the screen real quick, and let you guys, contact her. Let her know that you got her information from the South Florida Live Show. Your host Jeffrey Brown. So go ahead, and there you go. That's the email address, and her phone number. Give her a call. Give her email. Give her a little, email her, and let her know you may need some shirts, anything. But let her know now. Make sure. Listen. Make sure you let her know that you heard about her from the South Florida Live Show. The South Florida Live Show. You got to tell her. Say in your email. Say, Miss Pamela Glover. By the way, we heard about your business. We heard about you through the South Florida Live Show, and we would like to see if you make some shirts or whatever you guys need to be. How about that? That was a good little promo, little announcement thing for her. Oh my. But anyway, we're out of here. We're going. We're leaving. Appreciate everybody that was on. Appreciate you for joining us on this evening. Once again, if you want to be a blessing to South Florida Live Show, please bless us. You can bless us by cash apping us, a donation, a seed. We appreciate it. We really will. We really would. Thank you so much. And as always, listen, I appreciate you once again. God bless you. God keep you. Listen, as I always end with, I'll pray for you and you pray for me, and let's watch God change things. God bless you. Good night. I love y'all. Peace and blessings.